Okay, 2.8b. So we're looking at multiple representations now, like how you can look at things differently. And I'm actually going to add something in here. I'm also going to find f of g, maybe. Hold on, let me see. Okay, I added in, so go ahead and just write down on your paper somewhere, f of g of -2. So we're going to find all of these for each of them. So I'm going to start with f plus g of 1. So, and hold on, I'm just going to cover this up for just a second. Sure, and that'll give me some working room, and then I'll erase and go back to the other one. So for f plus g of 1, you would do f of 1 plus g of 1. That's all that means. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so that I can see what's going on. F of 1, and this is f of 1 is here. Let me do this. F of 1 is here, and g of 1 is here. So f of 1 is the y value. Remember we said that was the y value. So f of 1 is 3 plus g of 1 is 1. So 3 plus 1 is 4. Then we're going to do f of 0 minus g of 0. And we're going to do it all for A, then we're going to go back and do it for B. So we're going to move these dots. I'm going to still make f is green. F is green. So f of 0 and then g of 0. Okay, so f of 0 is 4 minus g of 0 is 0. So 4 minus 0 is 4, because remember that f of x equals y. And then fg, that's just f of -1 times g of -1. So f of -1 is 1 times g of whoops, I just flipped it, hold on. That's actually g of -1 is 1, because this is f, this is g. Let's make them colored. G, f. It would be helpful if they were in color. So f of -1, green, -1, 3. 3 times 1 is 3. And then f divided by g of -2, that is just f of -2 over g of -2. So we're going to -2 now. So, you know what? Forget it. F of -2 is 2. Nope, that's g. Dang it. F of -2 is 0. I'm sorry. So f g. Lord. F of -2 is 0 over g of -2 is 2. 0 divided by 2 is 0. Whew, that one was rough. Let me just erase all that. Oh crap. No, we're not. We're not erasing, because now we got to do f of g of -2. F of g of -2. Sorry, and I'm just kind of adding stuff in. So -2. So what I would do is I would do g of -2 first. So g is this one. G of -2 is right there, is 2. And then you pull it down, composition, you just kind of go around the outside. You go to f. F is now pink. F of 2 is 0. Now I can erase the whole thing. Luckily, there's not a whole lot more to this. And that fast, I forgot what I was doing. What my other thing was, it was f of g of -2, I think. F of g of -2. Okay. So I'm just going to go through and do them one at a time. This one, the table, much, much easier. F plus g of 1 is just f of 1, and you just look right here. F of 1 plus g of 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. F minus g of 0, we just look here. F is -1 minus g is 4, so that's -5. F times g of -1, we're here, so it's just -3 times 2 is -6. F over g of -2 is -5 divided by 0, but you can't divide by 0, so that one does not exist or undefined. And then this last one, f of g of -2, you always start on the inside. So g of -2 is 0. So 0, then you bring the problem down around it. F of 0 is negative 1. So that one made up for the fact that the other one was awful. Okay, now we're finding f of g. F of g means we plug g into f, and then we're finding the domain. So that's the square root of 2x plus 5 minus 1. Clean it up. That's the square root of 2x plus 4. The domain of a square root, you cannot take, let's write that down. Domain of a square root, what's under the square root has to be greater than or equal to 0. So I take what's under the square root and I set it greater than or equal to 0. Hopefully you remember that from some of your previous math classes. So 2x is greater than or equal to negative 4. Divide by 2, divide by 2. X is greater than or equal to negative 2, or in interval notation, negative 2 to infinity is my domain. So that's the answer, and then that's the domain. G of f, you plug f inside of g. So it'll be 2 square root of x minus 1 plus 5. What's under the square root for the domain, you said what's under the square root greater than or equal to 0. So move the 1 over. So it'd be 1 to infinity. Last one, you're finding functions that form the composite. So the question is, what did they put inside of what? It looks like they put 3x plus 2 inside of 4x squared minus 5x minus 8. So this is the outside function, and f circle g means f of g of x, and then your inside function, your g of x, would be 3x plus 2.